Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda. If you're just tuning into this amazing channel today, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're most welcome. So on today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make these beautiful short sneaker pants that you're seeing right here on your screen. If this sounds like what you're interested in, you might want to stick around and watch till the end. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also tap on the notification bell so you get more interesting videos like this. Without further ado, let's just dive into the main video. I brought back my pattern paper from the last video that I shared. Remember, I told you guys I didn't add any form of stitching allowance to the pattern paper when I was drafting the pattern. Now I'm just going ahead to add the 1 inch mark as you see me doing on the video. I'm just going ahead making sure I add 1 inch sewing allowance or stitching allowance all the way around the pattern. This will enable me to stitch the pattern without getting any shortage from my fabric. So I'm just going to be doing the same thing for the front. I'll make sure I have 1 inch all the way around the front as well. Now that I'm done marking out the 1 inch line, I just went ahead to use my scissors and cut out the fabric. And I'm cutting this fabric on fold, which means I'm cutting 2 for the front part and 2 for the back part as well. So remember that when you're cutting, your fabric should be on fold and you cut once instead of cutting it twice. So after this, I'll go ahead to notch this part where I have my darts. So I'm just going to use my scissors and give it a little notch at that point. And after that, I'll go ahead and cut the back as well. So after I'm done cutting out the back, I also notched the dart area at the back like so. And now I'm just using my chalk to ensure that this is the wrong side of the fabric for the back and front piece. Next thing I did was to measure 12 inches from this part down, and I drew out a line for it. And after that, I went ahead to measure 7 inches for the width, and I'm just going to use my ruler to complete this line straight, and I'll curve it from this part like so. This is going to serve as my pocket. Now I'm just going to be using that pocket to cut out another piece of pocket. Now that I'm done with the pocket, I went ahead to measure 1 inch like so at this part. This is the outer part of my shorts, so this is the out seam as you may call it. So I just went down by 7 inches, and I'm going to be using my ruler to draw a slanted line like so. This is the part where I want to stitch my pockets to. Now I'm just going to be trimming out the excesses. So I'll be replacing that with my pocket, and I'm just going to notch this part to know where it's going to stop. And the next thing I did was to go inwards at the darts. I went in by 3.5 inches for the front darts, and I'll be rolling that line, and I'll be marking the normal measurements like we always do for our darts. So taking 0.5 inches on both sides and connecting with the ruler. I'm just going to be doing the same thing I did here for the others, and I'll repeat the same thing for the back as well. So for the back piece, I went down by 4 inches at this part, and I will repeat what I did for the front dart as well. then I'll roll the line to square it out. And I'll also repeat the same thing for the back. Now I'm just going to head over to my machine and I'll stitch this all the way around the crotch line for the back, and I'll also go ahead and repeat the same thing I did at the front part. Now this is how the crotch looks like after sewing it. And the next thing I will do is to stitch down the dart area. I'll be repeating that for all the darts I have. Now this is what I have for my back piece, and here is my front piece. So the next thing I did was to bring out my pocket piece and I will attach to this point. Now I'm just going to be placing them right side to right side like so. I opened up the pockets and I aligned the sides just to match up for the 1 inch I took off initially. So I'm just going to stitch that and I'll flip it over like so, and also top stitch on it. After top stitching on it, I'm just going to make sure I have a replacement for the 1 inch I took off initially. So I'm just going to cross check what I have to make sure it's really correct, and from there I'm just going to make sure I stitch the pockets in place and place the back piece on it and stitch them together. So now I'm about to stitch this, and I'm making sure to stitch and stop at the notch I made earlier at the pocket size from this part down to this part. After that, I went ahead to top stitch on the pockets after flipping it over to the wrong side. And this is how it's looking like. So this is how my pockets are looking like after I'm done stitching and top stitching on them. And I'm just going to arrange it like so, after which I'll be placing my back piece upon it. Before then, I'm just going to stitch the top of my pockets to my waistline. Now I'm going to be stitching this part to close the sides of the pocket. Now this is what I have after stitching the pockets and also stitching the side seams. For this part, I'll just go ahead and stitch it at 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'll get back to you. This is what I have after I'm done stitching this part, and you can see how beautiful and neat it's looking like. Next, I'm just going to be hemming the down part like so. I'll be folding by 1/2 of an inch and then by 1 inch. I'll also go ahead and fix the zipper, and also I'll fix the band, and this is what I have. I have a band of about 4.5 inches. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and tuck in the tip of the zipper in between the band. I'll be folding the band into 2 equal halves, and I'll be using a stitch very close to the zipper teeth, and I'll be stitching a line from this part like this, and I'll make sure I hide the tip of the zip to avoid loose ends. And I'm just going to stitch it at this part, and also I'll be folding the other part as well, and I'll stitch it very close to the line you see at this point before trimming out the excess which I have. So now I am done stitching the whole of the pants, and this is what I have. This is the end result, and this is the band. You can see how beautiful and cute it's looking, and this is also the zipper. So guys, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so now, and also tap on the notification bell to get more interesting videos like this. You can choose to insert your zipper in the middle or at the back. So I like inserting mine at the sides because it's way more easier to do, coupled with the fact that there's already a stitching allowance at the sides, so I like using mine. This is how cute it's looking like You can choose to wear this with a corporate outfit just like I am doing, and you can see how beautiful it's looking like. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.